How's it going, everyone? It's Artifact. Today we're going to create a high octane beat using 7 Pokemon energy cards. Not really, we're going to be using 7 vital presets. Let's take a little listen to the loop I've made for you guys this morning. All of these presets are coming straight out of the synth from my new Vital Preset Pack. All you got to do is head over to my website, artifactmusic.com, head over to my shop, and you can grab these free presets here, but they're nowhere near as good as these 2021 Vital presets. It's only €5, so I'm going to give you a tenner now. You can buy it with that, and then you can keep the change as well if you like. We're going to use these 7 presets, and I'm going to give you a bit of compositional advice for different kind of elements that you could be / should be including in your drop. I've just loaded up a random kind of break from a sample pack, which is this. And then we're going to jump straight into the different elements I've chosen to use to create like this kind of quite interesting loop. Number 1 is I go straight in with some mid bass, which is the bomb mids. And I want to be using these mid basses without the sub in them. So afterwards, I'm just going to take out the low information. And I've just put on a bit of fresh air, which is also a free plugin, kind of increase and enhance like the brightness of the sound a little bit. So we've just got that. Very simple kind of bass line. And that's kind of like the main start to the groove. And then what we're going to do is where we have these kind of gaps at the end, we're going to introduce this kind of like second mid bass, which is like the filler bass. So it's sort of the response part. So again, I've chosen a different preset here, which is the Chumpy VIP one. Again, nothing changed to it. It's just as it is. So this one's got this kind of nice LFO filter movement on it already. And I've just played it one note. And that's just kind of like adding these sort of high energy fills like towards the end. High energy fills, yeah? If you want to buy a Pokemon card, it's 10 cents, yeah? Which is the same price as one preset because you get 50 for €5, yeah? Very clever. I'm good at maths, yeah? Quick maths. Next one, we're going to add in the sub bass. This is also a preset on here. It's called the Fat Sub. And it's just got like a nice low end sine wave with a couple of like extra harmonics to give it a bit of juice in the top part of the sub as well. We're going to copy the exact same pattern that we've got on the mid bass, and yeah, it's just going to provide the layer underneath that we want in a nice powerful sine wave format. And then when we go on to add other mid basses here, we're going to still be using the same sub, and that way it's going to like gel the kind of all the low ends together, especially when we go on to mix it with our kick drum later on in the song. The next thing to talk about is we just switch up the mid bass for this second part of the loop, so things don't get too repetitive. I've just chosen another different preset of mid basses, which is this disruptive bass, and again we've just low cut it so we can fit it along with our sub. I believe I used this bass in my last tune, Archetype, as well, but you can definitely feel free to reuse it. I have no problem with that. Yeah, so that kind of switches up this section here. Now we've got a nice kind of mid bass, we've got a nice sub, we've got the break rolling in the background, and there's a couple of extra things I want to add now. So the next most important thing is the lead. And for this one, I've chosen these drama chords here, which is one of the other kind of lead presets. And all we're doing on this one is, because it's a chord, we're going to play just more than one note. So the root note of our song is in D sharp, and I'm going to play up a third from that as well, a 3 semitones, which is this F sharp here. And if you look at the kind of the way that I've programmed in the MIDI, it's like they're not hitting on the one, it's sort of just afterwards. So it's just, you get the kick and then you get the chord shortly after. It's that D sharp with the third on every one beat. And then on this sort of end part here, we just shift up the chord like one semitone. So it goes up to E and G. So we get that kind of tension and release happening here. So if we just play that with the beat. Pokemon cards flying everywhere, sorry about that. Then sixthly, we add in the ARPting, which is another preset, and this is just, as you can obviously tell, it's an ARPting. And what we're going to do is just whack on a bit of reverb to it, and we're just playing it here, again, very simply, one note, and I've just EQ'd it quite a lot to take out a lot of low end, because I want to keep the mid bass nice and clean and the sub nice and clean down there. This is just going to add an extra bit of mid-range kind of rhythm, around this sort of area here, 300 and upwards into the treble. And yeah, if you listen to that along with the loop as well now. So that gets very interesting. And then towards the end of this second loop, to add a bit of sort of narrative before the loop sort of repeats itself, we add in this lazy pad, which is very simply like a long, dirty saw pad, which I've made, and it's a very, very simple patch. Just got a lot of kind of nice reverb and chorusing on it, and it kind of opens up as time progresses, so we kind of get a bit of evolving movement going on. And putting that in context with the rest of the loop here, we get to sort of get a bit wetter towards the end of the loop, and then when we go back to the beginning, we get more impact. So we've got a bit of a nice evolving kind of storyline going on. So let's have one last listen to the loop. Pretty nice little loop I whipped up this morning. Head over to artifactmusic.com if you want to grab the presets, and also if you go on my homepage here, you can find a link to Patreon, which is where I'll be uploading all my newest Vital patches, which I'll probably start making this week as well. And you can join our Discord group and get extra exclusive tutorials and have feedback sessions every Friday on your own music as well. So definitely also check that out. And thanks a lot, you guys, for watching. Have an awesome start to your week. Peace.